All right, what's good, man? I'm back. Take a minute to kind of go over a couple videos from Gully TV. I watched a video from Death of the Clout Chaser TV, the interview with Boxing Bar, and I watched Maino's video as well. The what is it, in the kitchen or whatever, the podcast he done started. Pretty interesting topics. I've been trying to keep up with what was going on between him and Gully. I really don't get into talking about some of the stuff that like platforms like Gully and Queen's Flip. I'm not in that lane, and I'm not knocking what they do because I watch it. I watch Gully's channel. I watch Queen's Flip's interviews. It's another Al Prophet. I watch his. So it's a few of them that I do watch and I check out, man. That do interviews with ex street individuals who at one time may had done some things in their neighborhoods or in their cities that made them legends in the streets. And like for me, Maino always been like rumored to have been, in the streets in some type of capacity. We know he did a lot of time. At one time, he got locked up or whatever, came home and did his rap thing. And I can remember him being on like the Smack DVDs and all the underground DVDs we used to get back in the day. You could buy them on the corners and stuff. So that's kind of like how I'm familiar with Maino. As far as Maino's music, I'm not really familiar with a lot of Maino music. Um, Maino was on somebody's song not too long ago. I think it was Jim Jones. I think he was on that last Jim Jones joint. Yeah, they got a song together. And I thought, that was like one of the hottest verses I probably heard that caught my attention because Gully said on on one of Gully has said on one of his videos, like, basically High Hater is the only song that he's known for. And nobody can really remember anything, any line or any words of that song besides High Hater. One way or another, though, Maino, to survive. Maino done got money. I'm not necessarily concerned with how Maino is getting his bread. The reason why I'm chiming in on this particular conversation has nothing to do with Boxing Bar, has nothing to do with a co-defendant who's going to come out with some paperwork and expose Maino as being an informant or cooperating. I'm pretty sure if it does come out and I see that, I'll talk about it then. But that ain't what I came to do today. Now, in the video that Maino did or put out a few days ago, and he was talking about people with computers, right? Us bloggers, vloggers, some people who consider themselves journalists. I don't consider myself a journalist, but to each his own. I tuned in and I tapped in because I wanted to see what he was talking about. I heard him say, some of them want to be the next academics. He talked about platforms stirring the pot, interviewing some of the same cats that just came home from doing a lot of time, being competitive with other platforms or channels, having beef between each other. He spoke about a lot of different things. But he also said that the people who he was describing who do some of these things, who are benefiting off of the stories of cats that was in the streets that went to the joint, did mat time. Some may or may not have bodies. It's some real individuals in a lot of these interviews that Queen's Flip and people like Gully and Death of a Clout Chaser and all of the other platforms that I mentioned earlier. They interviewing some real individuals. Maino went as far as to say basically he feels like the homies that's coming home or the OGs or the certified individuals, quote unquote, that are coming home now need to stop going to these platforms and create their own platforms. Stop. So his exact words was stop supporting these individuals on YouTube who are benefiting and taking vacations off of other people's stories. Now, he was taking a shot. He definitely was taking a shot at Gully TV when he said that, because Gully went on a rant early on and basically said like, I actually went on a vacation based off of X, Y, and Z. You feel what I'm saying? Um, I mean, it's a lot being said on all sides, and I can kind of understand or feel where a lot of people was coming because I was listening to Maino, right? And some of the things he was saying, even though uh, people like to get in front of these microphones and in front of these cameras, including Maino and people like him who criticize other other people who may not have been artists at one particular time. They criticize the guys who just this is where they started at. We started doing podcasts or creating our own blogs or writing our own articles in our own online magazines and things like that. They often like try to take shots or backhanded compliments like, well, we ain't talking to all of y'all, but for the ones we is talking about, you feel what I'm saying? We need to basically, like they need to get rid of them or they just living off of our stories. They, if it wasn't for us, whoop de whoop, whatever. And like a lot of times when I hear that conversation, I call BS on it because, you got people outside of the community that cover hip hop, people outside of the community who might cover the street stories of our street legends, and they might not cover it correctly. But we don't hear a large outcry that go against the non-black or non-affiliated with the culture or the community. We don't hear them, go after these individuals, but more often than none, we always hear these artists or these, individuals, these figures going at the underground journalist or the underground blogger or the underground vloggers. And you know what I mean? We starting it or we stirring it up. I think some of these situations is being brought up because we got rappers, we got people who done been in the streets, we got people who are personalities on Instagram who really are insecure about some of the stuff they did in the past, or they insecure or unsure about themselves to the point where, although this channel may have 15,000 subscribers, and I'm talking about death of a clout chaser, the fact that they did an interview and they talking to somebody who may have been connected to you, and they saying some ish that you may not appreciate them saying, you have no control over yourself but to react. So like at the same time, although I may agree with some of the stuff that Maino is saying, like we can turn the mirror right back around on Maino. You feel what I'm saying? And if you mentioning and talking about how big you is, and you talking about white stoves and refrigerators and all of this type of stuff that some people may not have in their houses, which to me, I don't care what type of appliances you got in your kitchen. When I see a kitchen, I see an office. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just on some real though. Like, I mean, I really that really don't make or break nobody. You feel what I'm saying? That doesn't certify or solidify your accomplishments because of the type of appliances you got. Even though I got stainless in my kitchen, but nevertheless, and it's hard to clean. Nevertheless, though, I'm saying all that to say that you've been on some of these platforms. Gully brought up the fact that you did the whole interview, and we didn't talk about what you did with him, but he did the whole interview with Queenz Flip. I think a lot of people appreciate Queenz Flip platform, and I don't know if Gully actually, get along with Queenz Flip or not. I really don't care about that. I think him and Gully bring two different types of content anyway. Like Gully did like on location. That Haitian Jack interview, that's big. You know what I mean? Gully got some big accomplishments, but also I think Queenz Flip got some big accomplishments too. And I think that at the end of the day, a lot of people is interested in those old stories. And it's no different than what was going on in the DVD era. Remember they had the Gangstas DVDs where you can watch the DVD and it was like the Supreme Team, and they'd go over everybody. They'd be interviewing people from back in the day, or you know what I mean? Like they had all kind of cats who they just did documentary of, or it's the same thing that's going on, but now we just seeing it in real time. So this really ain't nothing different. The issue is at this particular time that Maino and the funny built cat that's on the couch with him, basically they feel they're calling out different platforms for not having some type of integrity, just posting up anything. But I don't think they really understand the technique of what's going on YouTube. So say for instance, if I let Boxing Bar come on my platform and say X, Y, and Z. Now I might be skeptical of a few things that he said, but we want to get his side of the story. See, for a long time, not just rappers, but just people who had a little bit of power and a little bit of influence was able to keep conversations one-sided, where you only hear about one side of a situation. And it was cool when you talked about it, but now that social media has opened up and we can create our own platforms, and we don't have corporate sponsors telling us that, oh, well, if y'all do this interview with such and such, we gonna cut off your sponsorship. Half of the videos that a lot of us do, because I heard Gully talk about this earlier, and this is all around YouTube. Why? Because the monetization or the money making conversation always comes up. Like we supposed to always be doing this for free, but at the end of the day, though, a lot of our videos, a lot of guys you see doing YouTube, big or small, whatever, a lot of the videos you see, they not monetized. Or they have limited ads on them. Like, so for somebody to think that everybody is putting their all into just getting money off of YouTube and not exploring other avenues and other social media platforms to bring all of that money together, for you to think that for you to think that lets me know that you're kind of ignorant. You ignorant when it comes to this YouTube, social media, blogging, vlogging, podcast, whatever you want to call it, game. Y'all a little tardy to the game. Like at the end of the day, they talking about cats. I guess they want to be the next academics or whatnot. It's people who've been doing this just as long as academics was doing it, and at the end of the day, a lot of the platforms may cover similar topics, just like I was talking about how Queenz, Flip, and Gully both kind of cover street shit. You feel what I'm saying? But it's a different style, and they bring you two totally different types of content. They bring it to you in a different way. They package it different. It's packaged different. So, at the end of the day, man, only thing that I can take away from what Maino was saying was the integrity thing, especially when we talking about like real life events and real things that took place. That's why a lot of people I seen didn't interview Snow Billy, because after watching some of Snow Billy's Instagram videos, and then listen to what he said in one interview and another interview, a lot of people just backed up off of that. So it is some integrity there. There's some integrity there. Now, not every platform is trying to have integrity. Some people just want to get the story out there and set you up. And this is what I was getting to earlier before I kind of got sidetracked in what I was saying. They want to set you up for the response. So we're going to allow Boxing Bar or whoever to come on this platform and say something, because we know 9 times out of 10, somebody like Maino or whoever else we covering is going to respond to this. You have to respond to this. Like, one of the reasons why I feel like Jay-Z has been like successful when it comes to like controlling what's being put out there about him is because he's never actually responded. But Jay-Z is Jay-Z and Maino is Maino. So at the end of the day, Maino is in a position to where now you want to do podcasts. Now you want it's just like Joe Budden. Now you have when you insert yourself in our lane, because we didn't do hip hop. Like, some of us rapped or whatever, but at the end of the day, in this podcast game, in this YouTube game, and in this social media vlogging game, when you enter that realm, you have no choice but to respond. That's why Maino made the video that he made. Now, he, took a shot at people on YouTube, calling them niggas with computers or whatever. That's the name of the episode. But at the end of the day, these cats with these computers right now is really saving a lot of artists and a lot of other people a lot of money, because now you really don't even have to pay for marketing. Now you don't even have to pay for marketing. It's free promotion. So it works both ways. It goes both ways. I don't see nobody calling TMZ or nothing like that when they post y'all up on there complaining about them eating off of y'all. And we talking about a multi-million-dollar multimedia conglomerate when we talk about TMZ. You feel what I'm saying? I just got to think logically, like, You and your feelings about a channel that got 15,000 subscribers, or another channel that got like 100,000 subscribers, and them is good numbers. Don't get me wrong, them is both good numbers. I don't care if 15,000, 100,000, your videos can still go up. My main thing is this: you that pressed, you that concerned, where you have to. I'm speaking real. I'm speaking real, because he tried to make it like he wasn't going to address, or I'm not going to address. You need to address, because if somebody called me Ratatouille or anything like that, I'm coming out and I'm damn sure addressing that. Like, we're going to get this together. Ain't no smut. I told y'all the other day, ain't no smut on my name. Every time them people came and slapped them cuffs on me, a case was taken. I might have copped out and said, you know what, I ain't taking it to the box. But ain't no documentation, ain't no nothing on my name, right? And I ain't got nothing. My reputation is everything. You feel what I'm saying? Your reputation is everything. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna definitely defend my honor and defend my reputation against any blasphemy and any smut that's been put on my name. So at the end of the day, like, it's something that came up. He came out with a, what was it? I think he came out with a song or whatever. Let me go look at it real quick. I know it's on this YouTube channel. All right, Maino TV. And the setup is dope. I like the setup for the podcast or whatever. But why don't you listen? If you so street and you got an issue with how you saying, quote unquote, these platforms is exploiting the homies and the certified gangsters that you talking about that's coming home, why don't you? Because everybody don't want to start a YouTube channel, because that's what he offered to help these individuals coming home from the joint or whatnot to start, their own podcast or whatever, and basically cut out the middleman and bypass, the young, or, not even gonna say young, bypass the black platforms that they've been going to. Because we got an issue with people going, like, listen, it's a thing about people going to Vlad. So then when we do get the Gully TVs and the other platforms that's willing to like, listen, come rock with me. Let me get that exclusive. Let me get that interview. So it's okay for them and you to go sit down with Vlad, but don't go sit down with Gully and them no more. I mean, you talking to Queenz Flip too, even though I don't know the relationship between y'all, but Queenz Flip do the same. So you talking to, don't go sit down with Queenz Flip. Don't talk to Death of a Clout Chaser TV. Make your own platform. Stop letting them eat off of your. But what I'm telling you is this: everybody don't want to. You know how many people I done tried to get to start YouTube channels? Everybody don't want to do that. Sometimes people just want to sit down and have a conversation with an individual they feel is thorough or they feel is cool, and let's talk about my story and get it up out of there. Because I'm gonna say this: some of these cats that they be talking about I didn't even know who the hell they was until Gully or Queenz Flip interviewed them. So they can start a platform all I don't know who these individuals is. They can start a platform all they want to it. That don't mean it's gonna go. Why not let these cats go to the individuals I just mentioned and get that buzz going, and then start a YouTube channel? Now we know who you is. Now we want to know more about your story. What you doing now since you been out? You know what I mean? Do it that way, man. You giving people bad advice, man. No, at the end of the day, I don't got much to say about the boxing bar situation and some of that street politics and stuff because, like I said, that's not necessarily my lane to talk about that online. I'm a street nigga for sure. For sure. No smut. No smut. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I get on here and I talk about a few different things from a different angle. So I'll leave that up to the ones that do it. But I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Just to touch on that a little bit. And, like I said, it was some things in the conversation that y'all had at the kitchen talk that I agreed with. You feel what I'm saying? And I understood, what was being said. But I can see some of the slighted backhand comments and compliments and things like that as well, man. And then I just want to say downplaying of the individuals who allowed certain people to come on their platforms and speak on certain things. I see how you try to downplay, or how they was trying to downplay those platforms and discredit those platforms at the same time, and basically destroy YouTube and other forms of social media platforms that cover this type of stuff because you feel that they should no longer go to them. Let me know what y'all think, man. I watched Gully TV and I checked out what he had to say. His response to this. He broke out his journals and stuff, and basically making a just making an argument that he is a journalist. You feel what I'm saying? I can't. Who am I to take that from Gully? But it's a lot going on here. It's a lot to unpack. Street shit is being talked about. Niggas calling home from the joint. $150s and all that. You feel what I'm saying? But get in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. I'm Mighty the Ruler. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button and click that notification bell so you get notified each and every time I upload new content. Peace.